Hello, and welcome to the Tech Lab Brief.
Hello.
Give us 30 minutes, and we'll give you the most important updates in tech news, tech and science news, happening both in and outside of BK Tech Labs. We are your hosts,
I'm Ben.
and I'm BK. Let's jump right into it. AI's hardware arms race heats up. In a major shift reshaping the artificial intelligence landscape, tech giants are racing to develop their own custom silicon chips, moving beyond reliance on traditional GPUs to power the next generation of AI. From China's DeepSeek quietly designing inference-focused chips, to OpenAI's recent unveiling of its Jalapeno processor with Broadcom, and hyperscalers like Meta and Google scaling their own ASICs, this trend is driven by the urgent need for greater efficiency, lower costs, and strategic independence as AI compute demands explode.
It's pretty interesting. So they're making their own chips now. I've heard that AI was buying a lot of memory, a lot of RAM, and a lot of GPUs. That's why the prices were going up. So this seems interesting. So now they're making their own.
Yeah, so you develop the AI models and you run them on it's always been NVIDIA running on their GPUs. And yeah, these companies are saying, hey, like, what if we design our own chips for the AIs to run on?
That's pretty cool. I guess that maybe overflows into Apple's lawsuit with OpenAI because
Mm.
I guess AI companies are now getting into the hardware industry. They're starting to make hardware now. That's pretty
Yeah, so in the update, in this particular headline, we did just cover about Jalapeno, OpenAI's Jalapeno, and maybe that's something we can dig into more on a future brief. It's, I imagine, going to be somewhat related to that piece on Apple,
Yeah.
Apple's lawsuit against OpenAI and the poaching of the hardware engineers. So this is all really connected in a lot of interesting ways. But as we were planning today's brief, you very pointedly asked if maybe we could cover a topic that's not AI.
Well, not exactly. I'm okay with covering AI, just like more physical, because I just see on the news articles these days, it's always like new large language models are getting like the chat models are getting bigger and bigger, and I'm like, I want to talk about something physical.
All right, so let's talk about something physical.
All right. So next segment, new sodium ion batteries could challenge lithium's hold on the battery industry. Lithium ion batteries power much of modern life, from phones and laptops to electric vehicles and large energy storage systems. But researchers and manufacturers are now looking at sodium ion batteries as a potential alternative that could be cheaper and safer for some uses.
So lithium has always been the way for batteries.
Right.
Yeah. And now sodium. And if I remember correctly, lithium is Li, right?
Right.
Abbreviated on the periodic table, and sodium is Na.
Right.
Right. So if we have these Na-based batteries, is there some light you could shed on what this means?
Well, it definitely means it can be cheaper because sodium is definitely a lot more common
Mm.
in nature than lithium. I mean, salt is sodium. It has sodium in it. And NaCl, sodium chloride. So it's very common in nature. So this definitely can get a lot cheaper than lithium ion batteries. It has a potential.
Okay. Which will jump us back to AI. And yes, Illinois enacts nation-leading AI safety law, which makes Illinois the first state to mandate independent audits for frontier AI models. On July 6th, 2026, which was over 2 weeks ago, and this is just coming to our sphere now because, well, the news circulates as it does, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker signed Senate Bill 315, known as the Artificial Intelligence Safety Measures Act. It targets frontier or large-scale AI models developed by major companies, defined primarily by high annual revenue, over $500 million, and massive computational training resources. And the funny thing is, companies like OpenAI and Anthropic support the bill. So politics is getting into AI, and AI is getting into politics as we see everything entangling and becoming interconnected. And the government is saying, hey, we need more protections with this whole AI thing going on.
Yeah. I do remember I saw a ad either on YouTube or somewhere else where, I mean, Anthropic themselves were saying we're willing to answer the hard questions. They're not trying to take over the world. At least it seems like they're not trying to take over the world with AI.
So they say.
So they say. They just they have the same hard questions that everyone else does about how AI is going to play out in the world in the future, like 100 years from now, maybe.
Which naturally arises when any business or even person becomes more and more influential, wealthy, powerful. But this is the government is the government, and there is a responsibility for the government to make sure to serve the interests of the people. And it's really great to see Illinois, the governor of Illinois, Governor Pritzker, just doing what he's got to do for his state. And we actually reported earlier about a bill being proposed at the federal level. Can't remember the full details of that, but hopefully that can move along. But we know how the federal government can get a lot more politically deadlocked versus the state, so things can move faster in the state. I guess some last points I want to just cover here is just things covered by this bill. So being audited, right? They have to do an annual independent third-party audit of their safety practices. Transparency and reporting, so they have to kind of report on their developments. And whistleblower protection. So as individuals, if there's something that I think is wrong going on in the company, I can say something about it, and the company can't retaliate on me. These all seem pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
And yeah, go Illinois. And I know its politics can be a bit of it could feel very complicated and actually pretty like unrelated sometimes.
Be tiring, yeah.
But it's important to stay in the know.
Yeah, of course. Then speaking of AI, which we have been speaking for a lot, humanoid robots have been performing pig surgeries in an early test of future hospital assistants. So researchers at the University of California, San Diego reported that humanoid robots were involved in 2 gallbladder removal surgeries in pigs. One surgery was led by a humanoid robot with the help of a human surgeon, and another was completed by 2 humanoid robots, I suppose, oversaw, that's the word? Yeah, oversaw by a surgeon. The study also tested the robots in lab settings before moving to live animal procedures, and researchers said the results show the idea of robots assisting in surgery is technically possible, though still early.
Wow. So 2 surgeries. One was done with human help, but the other one was just pure robotic. It was 2 robots, but still pure robots, just doing the surgery.
Yeah, the implications of this. I mean, I was thinking of this like way before months ago. I'm like, the future of AI is like, they're going to be doing surgery on people, and that's crazy.
Where's the limit? Is there an end to this AI taking over our work? I mean, if we're at the point of surgery, like what's left?
Well, I mean, I think they could. We already do have like AI, artificial intelligence. Well, not like large language models, but we have robots like MRIs, like X-ray machines. Like you could count that as technology helping in the medical industry. So I think this is just like continuing in the path they've been going. It's not trying to use robots to take over, but just to assist.
It's interesting. You're making me think about this morning segment with Jaden, which the VODs will be up later. We were having a discussion on comparing the AI revolution with the Industrial Revolution, right? So you talk about how the imaging is technology too, but now we have, I guess we're in some fusion place with humanoid robots that are actually now doing the surgeries that are identifying, not just identifying where the precise movements have to be, but actually also making the precise movements. Yes. And to take that back to talking about AI versus the Industrial Revolution, I think the key point there was that the Industrial Revolution mechanized muscle, while the AI revolution is mechanizing the mind, thinking process. So there's something about how we are doing this right now, right? We're covering these stories. We're using a ton of technology here to make everything happen, to these productions happen. to make development to further development at BK Tech Labs. And for what, right? We're trying to get this knowledge out there, and we're kind of just being, at least I'm going to be upfront and blunt about the reality that AI has absolutely changed the game. It is changing the nature of work, what we define as work. And I don't think there's anything to be scared of. As the saying from a famous president, maybe I'll put this as a quiz to you guys. The only thing to fear is fear itself.
I've heard it before. I don't know which president, though. I guess I'm too young for that.
It could be Kennedy. But
It's definitely Kennedy.
did you say it's definitely Kennedy? My thought, I'm pretty sure it's FDR, or it's from a world. It's either a World War I quote or a World War II quote. I want to say it's a two, which would make it FDR. I think the one with Kennedy that you're thinking of is ask not what you can do, what your country can do for you,
Yes, no, that's.
but what you can do for your country, nation. Anyway, so you know the landscape is changing, but you know with everything I believe we're here to remind everyone that everything's moving in the right direction if we choose to see it that way, right? And on that note, that brings an end to today's news segment, which brings us to today's knowledge segment. Your knowledge segment today is brought to you by
Ben and PK. Oh,
collectively, VK Tech Labs, ushering in an era of collective intelligence, bringing an end to the gatekeeping of knowledge. Join us, become a member, shape the narrative. And then we cut back. Yeah. So today's knowledge segments. Did we plan for that?
we did not.
We did not. But I still had something in my head, and I was like, you know what? Ben was really like, I want to do something away from AI, and I respect it, because at least for me to do it as a software developer, it can be very much like AI, automating a lot of things, a lot of the very difficult work, and bring speed to product development. Then I know you're still in college, and you have the fascination for the sciences, and you want to do this interesting article on the sodium ions of replacing lithium batteries, lithium ion batteries. So I was like, let's see what AI's got to say about that. So this was still left over from this morning, AI versus industrial. And here we go. Oh, look at that. Like, it's, you know what, LaTeX? LaTeX is like a scientific markup language. Oh, yeah, still gotta fix this. Sorry, we blow if we blew up your ears. So get more technical background on the switch from sodium ion based batteries to lithium ion. It just pauses like that. It's interesting.
I think you meant the switch from lithium ion to sodium ion.
Oh,
But I think it should still.
see, this is what happens when you don't have enough time.
Yeah.
Howard. So anything, we'll just scroll through this, Ben. If there's anything interesting here that you want to dig into. It looks like it dates back to the 1970s. It didn't switch. It actually corrected me, right? It was like, lithium ion didn't switch from mature sodium technology. Rather, lithium ion won the early commercial race, forcing sodium ion research to be virtually shelved for nearly 3 decades. So,
so that answers the question.
there we go.
Why didn't we have it implemented before? Simply because lithium ion got more popular.
Why did lithium ion get more popular? Due to several fundamental laws. There we go. If we go on. Oh. The graphite anode bottleneck. Isn't that what you were bringing up earlier, Ryan? The bottleneck. So into the layers of graphite anode to form lithium C. Sodium, however, suffers from bizarre thermodynamic anomaly. Under standard operating conditions, sodium ions cannot intercalate into graphite. So something about graphite. Yes, the graphite anode bottleneck. Anode, a negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The anode is the negative terminal of the battery.
Interestingly, not just a spatial constraint, quantum mechanical calculations reveal this formation of energy of sodium graphite into calculated compounds is positive, binding energy between sodium and carbon hosts is 6 per week, making sodium storage in standard graphite nearly non-existent. Without a cheap, stable anode like graphite, early sodium-ion cells had no viable development path. Moving on to standard reduction potential and operating voltage. So the cell voltage of a battery is directly governed by the difference in standard reduction potentials between the cathode and the anode. There's no way we could decipher that. So that's actually a good a first task for ReChat would be to get this LaTeX to render properly. I don't think it would be that much work, right? Because, AI. So the size discrepancy. So this is a lot of it's pretty deep scientific properties here. Reduction potential, operating voltage. Lithium-based cells inherently yield a higher nominal operating voltage from 3 to 3.7, 4.2. Sodium can only go from 2.5 to 3.6. So, ionic radius, lattice strain, and degradation. Wow, this is getting deep, man.
Yeah, I don't think the layperson watching would understand.
Get gravimetric and volumetric energy density, slow desolvation and phase kinetics.
Wow.
Oof. Words.
Any physicists in the stream?
Why sodium ion is back in 2026? Due to geopolitical vulnerabilities in the lithium supply chain, skyrocketing resource costs, sodium ion has returned with key material science workarounds. So basically, I guess the lithium market has gotten so saturated and
Overhyped?
overmined,
It's not overhyped. Yeah.
over leveraged. They're like, hey, we gotta check out the sodium thing again.
So before lithium was chosen because sodium had an issue in making batteries, but I'm guessing with our new, or maybe not with our new technology, but just now that more people are researching sodium, they found workarounds to that issue. I guess that's what I'm reading here from Gemini.
Well, I mean,
So now it's become a viable option to replace lithium, or maybe not replace, but just be alongside lithium in the energy industry. So you'd have sodium ion batteries, lithium ion batteries.
I guess there is a question at play of whether these early stage research technologies have a chance to make their return, like the sodium. It's interesting because I'm going to turn it back to tech. You guys have heard about neural networks, and it's like the main machine learning technology that powers the AI revolution that we are in today. Neural networks was technology back in the 70s, and it was very quickly shot down. And then, or only in the last 20 years or so, or 10, 15 years or so, some researchers went back to neural networks and said, hey, maybe we can actually do it. Had to do with the computing power and all that not quite being available at that time. And it's interesting because with sodium ion, I feel it's the same deal. There were certain limitations that weren't available with the technology at that time, and well, here we are now.
That makes me wonder how much more things are just not being researched, but how many solutions to problems that we have are just not being researched, but they are out there.
Yeah, I like what you say there, and it makes me want to kind of spin the narrative back to AI.
I mean, you could. I'm all right with that.
And just trying to focus on the bright and positive points of what AI can do for us, and Ben being, and all the interns at BK Tech Labs with so much great ideas, so many great kind of visions about what we can do with technology, where AI is headed. I would love to see us really embracing AI the right way, but also not over embracing it, because we know that can be dangerous too. But yeah, saying just holding to that narrative that there's still so much out there that we don't know. And thank you for bringing in the sodium, the return of sodium batteries into today's brief.
I suppose that gives a call to action, I guess, to any engineers out there, scientists, do the research. There are things out there. It's not just doom and gloom,
Very good. All right. And on that note, that brings our knowledge segment to a close, but we already dismissed it, so it's all good. Yep. Which brings us to the barcade. Which brings us to the barcade segment. Which brings us to the barcade segment.
Okay.
All right. So chess is still chessing. Yes, I made that move. I wanted to put that king in check. It seemed like the best move to make. And now it's Red's turn. What do you think? White's move.
Red is in the white team?
Mm-hmm.
Are we playing for white, and black? We're playing the best moves for both.
No.
Whichever side's turn it is. Yeah. And yeah, I'm gonna say this on the stream and also to all the interns watching and also any of the viewers watching as well. Let's try to get in the habit of actually making the move. Because I'm trying to get into it too. Basically when we're preparing for the stream, it's why not just go and make the move, make a vote.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the quickest thing, you're just making moves. But let's start with chess here. Yeah, I mean
You should do white bishop to c4.
c4. But
so the other white bishop.
But we're in check.
Last turn? Oh, we're in check.
We're in check.
Sure.
Bishop?
Yeah. Because if you do with the knight, then you block off the bishop's only escape. Only way to get out.
The king's escape.
No. Because if you block it with the knight, right?
Oh, I see. The bishop's stuck. Yeah, that's what you're saying. Okay. Any thoughts, Ben?
No, I'm not that good at chess. I agree with him. I think the bishop idea is good when I think about it.
I could also say just moving the king is a move, but I agree that, I do think that right now there's just no back pieces developed at all on White's side, even though they are pretty significantly up in material. But yeah, let's do queen bishop blocks. So we'll submit that to d2 and see what the other looks like GPT-4 mini agrees with us.
Oh wow!
But it's also saying that moving the rook allows for better positioning, so that's just
it's a little bit confused.
Quite a hallucination. Gemini 2.5 flashlight is still only giving us a partial response, and Claude Haiku has a whole bunch to say. It said f1 to d3. F1 to d3. I don't think that's a good move at all. That's a free take. But Haiku says White is down material with Black's king actively centralized on e6. b3, bishop to d3 develops the bishop to an aggressive square, controls key central squares, and prepares to support the c5 pawn advance while improving piece coordination. I don't know about that, buddy, but I think the time is coming to start using the more advanced models to actually get a better game going. But for now, we'll just keep playing this game because, just get some reps, just looking at the chessboard, feeling comfortable talking about the game of chess. And tic-tac-toe, Ben, you said this is the game you want to play, right?
Yeah, I'm very good at this game. Not a lot of thinking.
This is a hard one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to vote for, man. We only got one option.
We only got one option. Is that the best kind of game to play? When best? What is best?
Yeah, the common conclusion of tic-tac-toe is usually a tie. Except for when AI is playing, for some reason they hallucinate and they let themselves lose.
I think there's only one. Yeah, there's only one move that they can even pick from right now, so it's the draw. There's something funny about tic-tac-toe. It's like you go from chess to tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, I was thinking it goes from chess to checkers, then to Connect Four, then to tic-tac.
Right, go backwards, but
it goes downwards.
All right, so it's red to move. I would just take this. Yeah, just go for this diagonal. What else is in?
Move the diagonal.
Yeah, it's still, you got to build up to it.
I would say red to 4.
I would be careful of red to 4 here.
Because if you set up the diagonal early,
Well, given
the other person might cap.
Well, given AI's habit of stacking, if you put red on 4, AI is just going to put theirs on 4, and then you can put yours on 5, and then they're going to put theirs on 5, and then you can put it on 6.
All right, let's see. Connect 4. Now it's time for checkers.
Checkers I'm semi good at.
Red to move. Red. There's not much going on here. I would just develop this back piece, or
You developed the one on the left.
is this one?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, because this guy's stuck. He can only move here, so yeah. What do you think?
Wait,
There's to 3. Yeah.
3, yeah.
3.
yeah, that was good.
All right. We submit that vote. And on that note, that brings our barcade segment to an end. Very good.
Good time.
All right. And on that note, that brings our brief to an end. We hope you enjoyed watching the stream as much as we did preparing for it. Please catch us for our next one tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. As always, we would love to know what you think about the stream. Leave any comments in the chat. And maybe one day you would consider supporting our platform as well as a member. And on that note, your Minute of Zen. And, oh, by the way, there's different ways to count down. I think we'll do a different one. What do you want to do? Hex? Let's do hex.
Hex. Yeah, hex. Looks
Your
good.
3C of Zen. Did it restart? Did it not start?
No, it's done.
Oh, and it just reset back?
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Have a safe drive back.
Have a good one.
And we'll see you bright and early. Have a safe drive back, a great rest of your day, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow.
Have a good one.
Bye now.